25 ways to get new clients into your coaching business. This session right here is going to be fast paced. I'm going to go into as much detail with as much visuals and even give away templates at many of these stages here to make them easy to implement. But I'm going to go fast paced so that we don't hold you here for the next 5 hours and instead give you 25 proven ways to grow your coaching business that are working right now. And if you're new here, I'm Neil Shoney Mac. I have grown thousands of coaching businesses across the last 8.5 years to 6, multi-6 and 7, and now actually even multi-7 figures inside a calendar year inside these coaching businesses through paid advertising, social media and email marketing that is proven to work with 100% customized strategies cherry-picked for each individual that we work with. This is no one size fits all, and just like in this session here, we're going to go through 25 ways to grow your coaching business. This is not 25 that you should do. You should cherry pick the ones that are right for you. But if you want to get these up-to-date strategies, the things that are working right now on demand, then hit subscribe, hit follow, hit like, hit comment, and do all the things that the YouTube algorithm absolutely loves. Now, into the video. Number 1 is proof-based posts with a direct call to action. Now, proof-based posts, you might think this is simple, but many people get it completely wrong. You need to know that number 1, you need to be doing this frequently. Proof-based posts is an example of a client that you have worked with. If you're a brand new coach, that example might be you. But if you're not a brand new coach and you've had clients that you've worked with, then you should be able to share great wins of those clients. There's nothing that is more powerful in getting people, especially complete strangers, to be actively interested in becoming a coaching client of yours. These can come in various different formats. It can be video based, it can be text based, sometimes it's before and after images, sometimes it's a screenshot message from a client. And many times coaches come to me and say, my clients just wouldn't like me to share proof, or they wouldn't give me proof. Well, you then therefore need to become better at asking for it, number 1. If you do not have an abundance of proof that you can share, it's probably because you're not asking the right questions to get the right answers and figure out what is working for them, what have been their wins of recent times. So ask the right questions, give feedback forms, ask questions inside your social media groups and any other communication patterns that you have with your clients. Ask them great questions, you'll get great answers. You've got screenshots right there, you might have before and after images coming your way, and even more so, ask them for videos. A lot of the clients that you work with, you think they don't want to be shared, but they are very often honored that you are interested in having them as a blowaway case study of what's possible with your coaching. So ask for those pieces of proof. As you can see on screen with a couple of examples here, we've got Darren's win, which was very recent, just a couple of weeks ago, coming out the other end of March, and having 123 cash collected month. That's something that we shared as a screenshot message. On the contrary here, you've got Josh on the other side, which is a testimonial where he's talking about how he used expensive ad agencies in the past, then came and worked with us, had cherry-picked ad strategies and had implemented the entire ads process in one afternoon in a coffee shop and has drastically lower cost leads, better quality, and it's more repeatable. As you can see, these are very, very different, and the great thing about having that variation means you can share it more frequently. If you only get videos, if you only have screenshots, it's very difficult to share 2 or 3 of these every single week without it becoming annoying or feeling repetitive to your market. When you have variation, you can do this more frequently, and because it's so high impact in getting new coaching clients, this can be a huge proponent of your social media strategy. But the final point is so important. If you're not directly asking people to take the next point of action with you, then you're not going to get them to do so. So do not just tell the story and then sign off with your name. Sign off with if you would also like to, and then the context of the type of result that that client has just got. Then DM me the word interested and I'll send you all the details, or click the link in my bio and book in for a consultation call. Something to that effect gets people to take action. Okay, albeit that we are about to go into everything from social media to email marketing, Facebook ads, everything that's working right now in 25 ways, we're gonna stick to social media and keep this quite simple. So with that, number 2 is educational posts. Now, educational posts are most commonly, and if you're about to skip this, stick with me, this is really important. Education posts is more common than anything in coaching businesses. So coaches are out there, a lot of the time they have amazing social media following, super engaged, and they're like, I have no idea why nobody reaches out to me and asks me about my coaching. it's typically because all they do is educate. They're not overcoming objections, they're not hitting any pain points, they're not sharing any proof, they're not doing any direct asks. So instead, they're just sharing education, 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 creating superfans that have no idea about your product, your service, or anything about how to get started working with you. Now, I had a client like this about 3 years ago. I did an audit of their Instagram account, and it was absolutely incredible to see how great their content was, their copywriting, their imagery, how their social media was growing so quickly, how engaged each of the posts were, but they weren't getting anybody to reach out to them. So I said, you don't have to make a major change here, but what I do want you to do is I want you to insert at least one sentence or one paragraph into these educational posts that backs up your educational piece or your claim with the results of one of your clients. So for instance, if you're saying there's only one way to do this, and then you typically just sign off and say, so take that as fact. Instead say, such as Sally, who came to me after 5 years of trying to solve this problem, and when we implemented this into her life, she was able to insert result in 90 days, 6 months, 9 months, a year, however long that was. We do the same thing in many formats, putting educational content out there, high impact, giving big aha moments, and allowing people to actually take a social media post and go and get clients. But at the same time, we'll very often insert one of our clients who is currently using that strategy and what happened in the last 7 or 14 days of them actually utilizing it. In the same effect, we go even further, and sometimes we share posts like the one on screen where it'll actually show multiple clients' wins, and we won't do it as a proof-based post, we'll do it as an educational post, walking through what the big aha moments is or the big takeaways are, and allowing it to do its own talking through the wins that are on screen. Number 3 is emotional story-based posts. This is virtually unused across the board here. The odd coach will utilize it, sometimes not even realizing that they actually have a strategy here. It's more just something that popped into their head. But if you can utilize stories from your past and show how hard come-ins have been overcame, and even more so if you specifically had to overcome struggles that your current coaching clients would naturally be going through, and you were able to solve those problems for yourself, those stories are almost as high impact as even putting out a direct, incredible super spike offer. And that is something that's coming up in a few in a few points time. So emotional story-based content, for me, for instance, I share this like twice a year, and it always works really well, where I tell the story about being in my first business, how torturous it was, but how because we needed money inside the business, we couldn't set up an event that was going to sell thousands of tickets through something like Eventbrite and be able to get the cash before the event had taken place. But we were bootstrapping. We had hundreds of thousands of pounds that we had to come up with to break even. And all the money that we were going to be able to generate, or the majority of it, was going to come from ticket sales. So if we couldn't get that money until the event was over, we weren't even going to be able to fund the thing. And so what we did was we actually got tickets printed, and we hand wrote every single letter, put the tickets in, and then actually manually posted every single one. We had thousands of envelopes that had to get written, and we would work throughout the day. We would sell exhibition stands, book in athletes, book flights and hotels, arrange live events, all of the things, carpets, electricity, all the things to run the event. And then during the night, instead of sleeping, we would write out envelopes over and over and over again. And I take that image, I tell that story. And what that does is it showcases that it wasn't like I just woke up and, I knew how to grow a coaching business, or it was, it landed up at my feet and it was the easiest thing of all time for me. A lot of people out there will not share the wins of their clients. They'll only tell their own story, which is unvariable anyway, or is that the word? On the contrary here, what I would like to do in the coaching business is tell the stories of our clients, not myself, but this is a good way to show, hey, I've been in the position that you've been in, quite possibly in a worse starting position than you've been in, and I've been able to grow that business and ultimately sell it, move into the coaching space and grow that coaching business every single year consecutively without a year being smaller than the year prior in the 8.5 years that I've been coaching. And so if you want inspiration for this, you can't really think about what the story should be. My hack that I always tell my clients is go into Facebook, go into Instagram and scroll hard in your photos, and you'll go all the way down and you'll find images from like 10 years ago that, number one, the image tells the story. Instantly you see that story and you just make connections and you can tell what that story is. And very often, that is the best image to use. The most high impact images are typically the images that you took years ago, not just telling the story while sharing an image of you today. Okay, in the first three here, we have already completely transformed your social media strategy, but we're gonna take it one step further. Number 4 is freebie giveaway social media posts. So these are absolutely tremendous. If you're not looking for your content to be just educational or an entertainment space, and you actually want to generate clients in abundance, it's not going to be about even a direct ask that invites people to become coaching clients. If you want volume, and you want volume frequently, you're going to want to share freebies that people can get their hands on by doing nothing more than sending you a message. This isn't send you a message so that you can send a link that they have to opt into. This is like creating a training that's 8 minutes long and it's a video that you've got the link for that you can send across, or a recipe guide, or a PDF, or a download, or whatever it may be. But make it something that's valuable, not something that's been sitting in your downloads because you knew nobody wanted it before. So let's use it in Neil's strategy number 4 here. Make it something that people actually want. Like for instance, we give away real ad image and ad copy templates, right? These are proven ad images, proven ad copy pieces, and we give them both away completely for free. If you want them completely for free, what to do is go to @Neil Shoney Mac on Instagram, literally send me the words ad templates, and I'll send you that link so that you've got a whole bunch of Canva templates for your ad images and a whole bunch of pieces of copy that are proven to work for different ad strategies that we commonly talk about on this channel. And so as you can see, if right now in this very second I said, oh, and so by the way, if you want to become a coaching client of ours, then head over to Instagram and I'll send you a link for you to pay me to become a coaching client. Nobody's gonna do that. Even if I was like not as direct as that, not many people would, especially at this point of the video. But if I say, hey, we've got all of this free stuff that's super highly valuable to coaches, it's proven to work across many coaching businesses, and I'm gonna give it to you completely for free without you having to give me even your email address, many people are gonna be watching this right now, head straight to Instagram and send me the word ad templates. The same thing is true with your social media posts, telling people as a direct post, hey, I've got this thing, all you need to do is send me a word, I'm gonna send you the direct link, you don't even need to opt in. It gets tons of people into the DMs. Great conversation starter with people who are problem aware and currently seeking out a solution. Okay, which brings me to number 5, which is we're getting to the end of social media, and this is actually a strategy that overlaps as we go into email marketing and things like that as well, which is super spike offers. Now, if you've been following me for any length of time, you'll probably know what a super spike offer is. If you don't, we've got about 65 of them, fully templated, ready to rock and roll. They're a 2-week sales strategy when you work with us directly, 2 weeks of a mass of opportunity. But to keep it simple, it's that you take the core thing that you want to sell the most of, that you do sell the most of, and you reposition it into a one-time opportunity. The time frame might be the same, the deliverables might be the same, the price point even might be the same, but you're going to reposition it into something that feels new, that feels unique, so that you get all those people that think, hey, I'm definitely going to work with that person. They might have told their partner, they might have told their friends, they might even tell themselves internally, I'm definitely going to work with that person, but it always gets pushed down the line. Why does it always get pushed down the line? Because they can sign up 365 days a year, any year that they wish to. Whereas with the super spike offers, the price point's the same, the deliverables are the same, everything about the product is the same, but we're repositioning it into something that is unique, that has urgency and scarcity built into it. You can still be super authentic. If you say there's 5 spaces, you can only give away 5 spaces, but you can reposition it into something else. Like if you're a fitness coach and you have like your 90-day transformation program is the simplified name of your program. Isn't too bad actually, because it does what it says in the tin. But you might do it as a 90-day get ready for the beach transformation special, which you would position as my one-time get ready for the beach transformation special, okay? And so when you detail that, people aren't thinking, hey, I can get ready for the beach at any time of the year. Instead, they're looking at this as a one-time opportunity. They're future pacing, they're thinking about summer, they're thinking about their summer holiday, and they're going, this is so timely. I am 4 months out from my summer holiday, and this coach right here has a 90-day program that is specifically about getting me in shape ahead of that right there. This is an amazing strategy for you to use. This is the type of one that many times we have had coaches implement this for the first time even the watered down version, when we did this inside a paid challenge where people had to pay £10 to do it, and we had a coach in that scenario with the watered down version collect 62k of sales on the other side of it. It was an all-time record month. It worked tremendously well. We've had that many times across our programs and even in the paid challenges. I would urge you to utilize these frequently. Once every 6 weeks, the more different they look and feel, even the timeframes can change and things of that nature, the more frequently that you can use them. Okay, number 6 here is a super spike in private. So we just talked about the public strategy here. The super spike in private is one that you can do more frequently depending upon who you're going to go to. As long as you're going to different people, then you can utilize this as a monthly strategy where it's done completely in private through messaging, but you're going to people like unconverted leads, people that you spoke to in the past, people that you had calls with but have not converted, and you go to them with a one-time opportunity. It can be that there's limited spaces, it can be that it's for, you know, the final 2 days of the month or something to that effect, but hold authenticity. If you're going to do a special for them, actually do a special for them and give them that opportunity to lower the barrier to entry and to jump into your program or whatever that thing is going to look like. But this is about taking the thing that you do and actually creating something that's a little bit unique and giving them the opportunity to jump in. If you've got a 90-day program, for instance, you might do an 8-week sprint. Or if you have a chunky down payment and then they go into a monthly coaching plan, for instance, then maybe you give them an opportunity to split the payments in a more favorable way to lower the barrier to entry and for them not to have to pay so much on the front end to get access to your coaching. Many different ways of doing this, but it works tremendously well, especially if you know the specific people that you're going to reach out to. Okay, number 7 here is pinned posts at the top of your Instagram profile. I'm going to suggest here a 3-step process that works incredibly well. We've got a video on the Instagram channel, so go about 10 videos back and we'll go into even more detail here. But what you should have at the top of your profile for simplicity, different coaches that we work with, sometimes we'll tweak it in different ways for different reasons, but this is a pretty dynamite way to go. This is a system that I use personally and it works really well, which is that you have one post on the left-hand side pinned to the top, which is something absolutely dynamite that they would want to get their hands on. This can even bring people who do not follow you, but do discover your page to send you a DM message, right? Just like we said about the freebies, this is an example of that. Putting out a freebie post, getting all of your followers to be reaching out to you for the freebie post, but then pin it to the top and keep it there. New people who come to your page, followers or not, can become people who jump into the DMs, and now you've got an opportunity to book a call or make a direct sale. The second one, the middle one, I find is an absolute peach. We get likes and comments and things like that, even though this was posted like 14 months ago, which is a post right in the middle that tells your story, right? That really says like, who are you? Remembering that people are not just looking for a coach, they're looking for somebody who they actually want to be coached by. So the individual and connecting with that person is really, really important, especially when in my last video I was talking about how even the lowest skepticism markets, everything's taken a sidestep right now and everything is coming with a higher level of skepticism. This post right in the middle can, especially for the people who are in the market and interested in potentially working with you because they've seen the results that you get for clients and the type of content you're putting out there, this is the type of one that they'll look at before they make a decision in will they actually invest with you. Go and look at my posts on Instagram at Neil Shoney Mac right now to go and get the full rundown. You can utilize it as a template. I use a 10-step system, as you'll see, and it works really, really well. And then the final one is on the right-hand side, if you will, depending on which way you're looking at it, you do a proof-based post. Now we rotate ours so that if people are coming back to the page, especially people that you're having calls with that are really in the market right now, behavior is said to be that the people who are most interested in working with you will actually visit your profile multiple times in a given week. And so we like to rotate these quite frequently, right? So that post at the top right-hand corner, the proof-based post, you'll see that we rotate it very often. Sometimes it's a video, sometimes it's a static image, sometimes it's something new, sometimes it's an old post. But we are always just rotating it with new proof that people can come, and if they saw one 2 days ago, they might see another one the next time that they arrive. But we're always, of course, getting great posts with great stories that they can connect with, and we're pinning that to the top. Doing these 3 things right here will generate more leads inbound, it will get more people to reach out to you, it will get more people to want to follow you who discover your page for the very first time. It is a multi-step beneficial system to get these pinned posts right so that you can get this absolutely pinpoint. And by the way, we're only 7 in right here, but if this has been valuable to you, give this video a like just to give me an indication of these longer form, more detailed videos with direct strategies that you can go and implement. Are these valuable to you? Let me know with a like to this video. Okay, number 8 here is single story slides with long form copy. If you follow me, you'll see that I do this probably about once every 2 days. It is such an impactful strategy. This is to go into your stats on Instagram with your most recent posts from the last, let's say 30 days or 45 days, and rank them based upon some of the best engagement. So the ones with the most comments, the ones with the most reach, the ones with the most likes. This is an amazing strategy for ideas, by the way, but it's a great one to do before you implement this strategy right here. Basically what you're gonna do is you're just gonna take a selfie, or you can even just use a colored background, and you're gonna take the copy from that really high impact piece that you put out there that had disproportionate best engagement out there, and you're gonna take it and you're gonna copy and paste it into one single story slide. If it's got 5 paragraphs, you're not gonna put it across 5 slides, you're gonna put it on one slide. You're gonna let your stories go completely blank, so you don't post anything for 24 hours, and then you put this into your stories, okay? You're gonna post it as a single story slide, and you're not gonna post anything else for another 24 hours. What you'll realize here is that your story views will go up about 2 to 3x most typically. Okay, so that's the first outcome when you utilize this strategy. And a big reason why this happens is because even if they're interested or not, most people will see really small text that's hard to read unless they focus, and they'll put their thumb down, right? They'll put their thumb down to stop it going to the next slide. And what happens when we do that? We get people to look at that and to put their thumb down, and Instagram goes, this is high engagement content, because it registers as an engagement. And so if 500 people see it and 425 people put their thumb down, Instagram is going, this is an incredible piece of content. And so it shows it to more people, or it shows your stories, or positions your stories at the front for more people to opt in or open up Instagram. The cool thing, you've actually taken a great piece of content that very likely has a really good call to action, whether that's to get a freebie, whether that's to DM you if they're interested in coaching. When you utilize this strategy, you actually get people inbounding you off the back of it as well. So you can double or triple the amount of people who see your stories, whilst getting a whole bunch of inbound messages from people who have seen that story post as well. Okay, the next one, number 9 here, is to use Instagram polls. One that I used to talk about on the channel. It was one of my first ever videos like 5 years ago or 6 years ago. I don't know how long ago it was now really. But I used to talk about this and get people to do it in the room long before anybody was really talking about it. It was when Instagram polls first came out, and I actually had a client at the time in which we sold meat boxes in the post. I basically utilized this as soon as I saw it as an update, and I said, what do you rather, rump steak or sirloin steak? We got so many responses. Then I swiped up and I created a discount code for sirloin steak and a discount code for rump steak, and I sent out a personalized, well, it was 2 messages, copy and pasted to the people who hit one button or the other button with the discount code. And what happened? Tons of people used the discount code, and I was like, oh my goodness, we can get people to literally put their hand up and say they're in one camp or the other. We can open up conversations with relevancy, and we can have direct call to actions on the other side. This simplified example of a fitness coach, because everybody can understand it, you would say something like, what do you struggle more with, building muscle or losing weight? Right? And then you would give it 24 hours or a few hours even, and then swipe up and see who hit each of those buttons. From there, you can open up a direct conversation based upon the answer to the question that they have given through hitting that poll. So for instance, you would say, thanks so much for engaging with the poll. Really helps me understand my followers and the type of content I should be creating. However, I did see that you said that you struggle with losing weight. Can I ask, do you have a plan of action that you're following right now? Great question for you to open up a conversation there around actually the thing that you can help them with. Okay, the final one before we go into Facebook ads and the things that are working across ads right now, right in this very second, we are gonna go into number 10, which is to use the link sticker inside your Instagram stories. So recently, or a good few months ago now really, Instagram introduced the link sticker. So you can actually have a link or a button that people can click in your stories if you don't have 10,000 followers, which is a great thing for most coaches who are out there. Now, this is an amazing opportunity for you to get people directly from Instagram to go exactly to where you want to go. Whether you've got a live masterclass coming up, a freebie you want to give away, something that you want people to opt into, or indeed you simply want to send them to a place where they can book a call. Now, the crazy thing is, because only the most engaged audience of yours are even seeing your stories, bear in mind, the majority of people who follow you, who actively follow you, do not see your stories. So take that into account, that the people who are actually seeing your stories are people who are the most engaged, that Instagram has identified that to be the case, and they're actually putting your stories at the front when they log in to Instagram or open up the app. And so bear in mind that you might have 500 people there who are actually currently hanging on your every word. So you can put out something as simple as, I've just added 4 call times for Monday and Tuesday. You could put this out on a Sunday. I've just added 4 call times for Monday and Tuesday for anybody who wants to jump onto a 20-minute call where we'll help you build out X, Y, and Z. Okay? And then people will literally click on it, go to your application or go to your calendar and book in for the next couple of days. This is a great way to get booked calls, and this is a great way for you to utilize another simple but repeatable system. It can take you seconds to put together, but can bring in 3, 4, 5, 6 book calls every couple of weeks when you utilize it. Okay, number 11 here, and we're going into some ad stuff, and we're going to start really simple. We've got something that we call the 3x Reel strategy. Essentially, it's a 4-week strategy, and we've got some major steps that we do going into week 2 and week 3 and week 4, but I'm going to start off with week 1 because you can get amazing results with that alone, and you don't have all day to go through everything inside this strategy. So the 3x Reel strategy is very simple. It's Instagram strategy, and what you want to do is you want to lead with extreme value. Okay, so albeit that again we have 3 different angles that we go with to keep it simple, you don't want to lead with, hey, do you want to become a coaching client or anything of the kind. You want to lead with real value, the things that are most meaningful to your direct audience. Okay, you want to create reels that are below 60 seconds, that touch on those big pain points and big aha moments, solve the problem, and most importantly, in the last 5 seconds, invite them to visit your profile and to follow you. Okay, and what you're looking to do here is you're going to advertise on Instagram specifically, advertise these all to the exact same audience. We want the only variable here to be the creative itself. And what you really want to be focused upon is cost per new follower coming through. Because the really cool thing is, if somebody follows you, it doesn't matter if they have a private profile, you can message them. A lot of people don't know that, but you can go on desktop, for instance, or even on mobile, go to their profile, the 3 dots at the top right-hand corner. As long as they follow you, you can see that you can message them. Okay, so it's a really, really cool thing for you to be able to start conversations with people. But this strategy has another reason why we do it. It's leading with value, and if you're in a high skepticism market, which is almost all markets now, but like I said before, watch the video from a couple of days ago, everything's taken a sidestep right, and you need to come up with the strategies that are going to overcome that high level of skepticism that is inside the market. This is one of those, okay? And it's so simple that so many people would look at it as, you know, well, how good can it really be? Because it's so simple and it's not a 147-step funnel. I get that it's not a 147-step funnel, but very often the simplest strategies are the most effective. People just have, you know, a wandering eye, as it were, and they want to move on to something else. As soon as they see something works, they go, that was great, what else is out there? Darren, that I mentioned earlier as an example, spent over 10K last month specifically on this strategy. So when people look at a simplified strategy like this, or what doesn't seem like a lot of effort to put it together, a lot of the time they don't compute that this can actually build multi-six figures per month into a coaching business. This can be an absolutely massive strategy, and you know, myself and Darren, we will not be stopping at 10K either. We'll be looking to scale this month on month to continue to grow his coaching business even further. Number 12 here is messenger ads, and I'm going to go into even more detail here and say there's 2 types of messenger ads that we specifically teach, and they need to be used for different markets for different reasons. So we do direct and we do indirect messenger ads, and what I mean by that is direct is like, hey, I'm looking for 5 people who want to achieve this result in the next 90 days. DM me the word interested if you're interested, right? Of course, our ad copy is a little bit different from that. The ad copy that I said at step like 6 or something that you could have for free by sending me the message, ad copy. I was about to say or comment below, but I mean, if you're on YouTube, you're not going to see it. But if you send me that message, in there we've actually got messenger ad copy. So if you're interested in messenger ads after you hear this, then that ad copy is literally just going to be fill in the blanks and you're ready to rock and roll. So Messenger Ads Direct is, of course, basically asking people to message you if they're interested in making that change in their life, you know, through your coaching. Indirect is where you utilize Messenger Ads to get inbound messages coming your way, but instead about interested in your coaching, they're reaching out to you to get their hands on that freebie, whether it is a live training, a recorded training, whether it is freebie, download, PDF, template, whatever that thing is that you can give away. It's a great way to get inbounds. Now, the direct ones are incredible. If you can get direct to work, then absolutely incredible, because you literally have an abundance of inbound messages with people literally saying interested to you every single day of the year, asking to find out more about your coaching service. It's incredible. What you tend to find is that high skepticism markets do not work with this strategy whatsoever. If it is, for instance, if it's in like the business coaching space, if it is in finance space, if it is in investing space, anything that's got really high skepticism around it, you tend to find that direct strategies like that end up with a lot of inbound mess, okay? Even if you're in a lower skepticism market, such as fitness coaching, as an example, if you're a woman who sells to women, we tend to find that direct works amazingly well. If you're a guy who sells to guys, higher skepticism, guys are very skeptical, and therefore they look at that and they'll send you messages like, I bet it's not really just for 5 people. Like, you'll get messages like that, okay? So what do guys who sell to guys need to do? Or if you're in a space that is high skepticism, well, you need to use the indirect method. So you can still have inbounds coming to you non-stop, but they're there for the training, and it's your job to then convert them into a conversation around their goals. Okay, so of course, the direct, directly into the conversation of the program. The indirect, you know that they're problem aware, they're seeking out a solution, they've inbounded you because they think that you might have the keys to the castle. It's a great lead still to have coming in, but you then need to convert that within a couple of messages into a conversation around what prompted them for the training, or what prompted them to reach out. Are they embarking on solving this problem right now? Asking them a great quality question can have a ton of people then go on to book calls. Number 13 is a lead magnet funnel. So lead magnets are absolutely tremendous, great for advertising. They're actually great for social media and things like that as well. So if you want to build up an email list, an SMS list, but also have something that can convert without you having to really play a part in it, because it's all 100% automated start to finish, and take somebody who is a complete stranger and get them to book a call with you, lead magnet funnels are tremendous. What you do need though is something that your market genuinely wants, right? Most people get this wrong by, number one, trying to give away something that they just had lying around, right? You want to have something that people really want to get their hands on. We're at a stage now, again with the skepticism in the market, that you actually want to build something that would be worth a price point, that you probably technically could sell for 27, 47, 97, all the sevens, because we're in the marketing space, of course, right? So all the sevens that you could sell for, you know, below 500 bucks, and you want to give that away for free. When you can give that away for free, you can have very, very low cost leads who embark and actually immerse themselves in that thing. Don't just opt in and go, oh, I'll come back to this later, and they never see it. Actually go through the thing that they got their hands on, and then they're more likely to book calls on the other side. You also need the system to be really dialed in. So it's not just about the ads and making sure you get a low cost per lead. You need to have the system dialed in so that they're offered a call immediately, that they are reminded of the training, because the value of somebody who watches the training versus doesn't watch the training, it's completely night and day with the follow-up emails they're gonna get. You need follow-up emails to go out. Even better if you're using SMS marketing, having 1 to 2 messages that are sent via SMS makes a drastic change to the amount of book calls that you get through the system. This is something I've used for years, and here's the really cool thing about this, and just about any ad strategy that we build with anybody. Sure, things might need tweaked here and there, but I've been using the same lead magnet for the last somewhere in the region of 4 years inside my coaching business, okay? The only thing that's changed is the fact that it goes 2022, 2023, 2024, we update the content within the thing they get their hands on, and we change the year according to the year that we're in. But other than that, the actual system, even many of the ads are the exact same and have been for years at this stage. Number 14 here is free challenges, something that is absolutely tremendous at taking somebody from a complete stranger and turning them into a client in a very short window of time. Lots of our clients, I would say somewhere in the region of like 5-6% of our clients, which is quite a lot of coaches by the way, utilize free challenges because we've cherry picked it because it is absolutely perfect for them, their market, what they want to sell at what price point. But free challenges is a way of getting very low cost leads. The perceived value is so high because it's 5 days immersive. It allows you to get really low cost leads. We've got lots of people who are getting below 50 pence or what would be 60 cents in the US per name, email address, and phone number that they collect. Lots of people who are running these 2 or 3 times per month because they've got it in such a repeatable system that it doesn't take a lot of time to be able to deliver it, other than turning up for 30 minutes per day to deliver the content, of which the content never changes, the pitch never changes, the emails never change. So yes, it takes a little bit of time on the front end to create a 5-day immersive experience. However, on the other side of having it created, it's about repeating the process. The ads stay the same, the emails stay the same, the pitch stays the same, everything stays the same, but you just get new people to be in attendance every single time that you do it. They're incredible, especially for high skepticism markets, because it gives them the opportunity to connect with you as a human being, find out your systems, what makes you different from everybody else. It's a really, really great strategy. Number 15 is live masterclasses. Is again something that I use as a repeatable system in my business. I do these about once per month. It'll fluctuate. Sometimes I'll do 2 in a month. It'll always be at least 1 a month, but sometimes it's 1 or 2. But it's a very repeatable system. It's the same content every single time. Of course, we update it based upon what is working in that very moment, but the majority of the content stays the same each time that we run this, but we have new people who come through it every single time. Now, live masterclasses, Josh, for instance, he uses the same ads and has done to run 1 to 2 masterclasses every single month, and has done for almost a year now. And that is how powerful these can be. He has around 600 opt in to the masterclass every single time he runs it. I think it was either his first one that he did with us or his second one was over 19K cash collected, and yet he came to us between 3 to 5K a month inside his coaching business. So as you can see, the impact that this can have is absolutely astronomical. Live masterclass is again a great way to overcome high skepticism. It's a great system if your target market identify as being very busy. If you work with parents, high-end corporates, things of that nature, live masterclasses are amazing because they don't look at a 5-day challenge as, wow, look at all this value. They look at a 5-day challenge as, I don't have time for that. And instead, they look at a live masterclass as, I only need to put aside 30 minutes or 45 minutes or up to an hour and be there live to absorb all of the content, right? So it's great for markets that identify as being very busy. It's great for overcoming high skepticism. And here's the really cool thing. Albeit that live masterclasses, because they're live, have a lower show rate than, for instance, the amount of people that will join a Facebook group for a 5-day challenge, because they'll join it whether they're going to be there live or not. What we do tend to find is there's nothing out there that has such a high percentage of people booking for calls on the other side. So for instance, if you had 50 people there, you genuinely can book in like somewhere between 30 and 50 booked calls on the other side. So if you did these every 2 weeks, you could have literally like 2 weeks of booked calls with people who were problem aware, seeking out a solution, and actually took the time to be there live as well. It's an amazing system for so many reasons, and it is so unbelievably hyper repeatable. The next one here is free training funnels. Now, we talked about social media posts in which we're asking people to specifically reach out to us to get something for free. Free training funnels would be the best way to do this if it was, of course, something like a live or pre-recorded training. So if it's like an 8 to 12 minute training, pre-recorded, free training funnel would be the best way to do this. Now, this is about having a link ready to be able to send to people, but it's a little bit different from the point that I made earlier, which is making clear that with the free training funnel, below that video that they're gonna watch for 8 to 12 minutes, you need a button in which they can take the next piece of action. So is that to reach back out to you? Is that to book in for a call? Is that to download something that gives them even more access? Whatever that call to action that you want it to be, most commonly we do book calls. It works tremendously well. But here's the cool thing. You can go even further with this. You don't need to wait for people to reach out to you. You can utilize this as a strategy to go back to unconverted leads, reopen a conversation without it seeming like you're looking for the sale. Just saying, hey, I've got this thing that I just put together. It's absolutely incredible. Off the back of our previous conversations, I thought that you would really enjoy it, and you can send it to them. You get tons of responses from that. Never mind the fact that many people won't even respond to you. They'll just go, I'll watch this, and then below it is a link to book in for a call, and in that moment you can finally get that call from them. So it's a tremendous strategy to utilize free training funnels. You don't need millions of them, but it is actually quite good to have multiple ones that you can utilize inside your business. And especially when you find one that has a really high conversion rate, you can be really bullish with it. You can reach out to your followers, 25 of them a day for instance, and send them that copy and paste message. They're going to be really grateful. Going through, booking calls, it's an amazing strategy. Going into 17 here, which is the links in your bios really matter. When I say that, what most people hear is the links in your Instagram bio, but this also affects personal Facebook, business Facebook, and the links even in like LinkedIn and things like that if you're repurposing your content over there also. So taking a look at what is the link that you actually have in here, is it still relevant? I was doing an audit for a new client, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, something like that, who already had a good business, just over the 6-figure mark per year. So it's an actively good business. We're obviously going to take it to the next level. But when I did the audit, I went through links in the bio on the main place where they actually share content, which was Instagram, and the links went to nowhere. As in, like, so they go through to a page to discover about their coaching program, and when they click on the button to literally go through to the calendar, it's a broken link. Okay, so when that's happening across so many different businesses, and by the way, it is happening across so many different businesses, people forget the links that they had on their Facebook page. By the way, like from 3 years ago, it'll be like to join their 5-day challenge or download a certain ebook that they don't even actually offer anymore. The link is broken, it doesn't go anywhere, but they're still sharing content there, and then people are looking for a way to engage with the person. They go to the bio to see if there's an email address, a website or something, and they find a link that is broken. So update the links, number one. Second of all is be conscious of what's there. Is it the highest impact stuff that you've got that can turn somebody into a client? Okay, so a couple of rules that I have for links in bio is that you never have more than one link in there that is specifically about becoming a coaching client. Okay, so you don't have, like, if you've got 3 programs, don't have 3 different links to 3 different programs. It'll confuse people out of clicking on any of them. Okay, and further to that, when somebody clicks on one, even if they like it, then they'll think, well, what about if it's the other one? What if it's about the other one? And people don't have the attention spans to allow themselves to actually go through all 3. Okay, so if you want people to be able to take action with you, you want to give them clarity on the core thing that you want to sell the most of. Okay, so send them to a video about that thing where they can then go through an application process and book a call or whatever it may be, but never have more than one link that is associated with becoming a coaching client or booking a call to get closer to doing so. If you're going to have more links inside there, I say one link is somewhere where they can give you their name, email address, and phone number for something free. And then the final one is to something that they can get their hands on without having to give you any details whatsoever. So if you're going to have a third. And so for instance, that would be like, in my scenario, booking a call to discuss joining our program. The second one would be opting in to get free ad templates or whatever it may be. So it'd be like a freebie, but you give us their name and email address. And then the final one would be like a link to my YouTube channel, which you're on right now. Like, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. And so by doing so, you almost are like, hey, at what stage of the process are you? Did you just discover me? Well, hey, come to my YouTube channel. Oh, you followed me for the last 2.5 years and you saw that your friend is one of our clients and they've just grown from here to here, and you're now interested in booking a call to see if it's a good fit for you. Well, it's probably going to be the top option. Or indeed, you follow me for a little bit of time and hey, you want access to the thing that you heard me mention on a YouTube video. Well, here's the link to do so. So that would be like the middle one there. So the links in bio, make sure they're all updated across all social platforms. Worth you taking a look at email addresses and making sure that that's still the case as well. And then if you're going to have more than one link inside Instagram, and by the way, you don't need to use Linktree anymore. You can just actually create multiple links inside settings, inside Instagram. you want to have that. If you're going to have 3, then you want that to be the formatting for it. This can also be one where it like overlaps. So like for instance, when you're using the 3x Reels strategy, which we talked about at number 11, the 3x Reels strategy can genuinely bring you hundreds, if not thousands, to your profile every single day. And a huge proponent of them will become followers. And it gives you an amazing opportunity to start conversations, book calls, and make sales on a daily basis. Amazing strategy. But guess what? If you've got a really, really optimized profile, and maybe even within the bio, you tell them of something that they're gonna want to get more details on or get their hands on completely for free, that they can click down below into the links, you can have a ton of people who don't even follow you, who go through and join your email list, your SMS list, and go through an immersive experience, and there they can book a call, okay? Yeah, you can have overlapping strategies here. The 3x Reels strategy can be one that has its key outcome, but it can also bring in so much gold on the other side as well. Again, Darren that I mentioned earlier, he also said that a big proponent of why the 3x Reels strategy is working so well for him is because of the amount of applications, direct applications of interest to work with him are coming through the link in his Instagram bio, which does not happen anywhere near that quantity when he's not running the advertising in this way. So multiple benefits, but overlapping strategies, which by the way, I think was not the last YouTube video, but the one before it was about how to choose strategies in which they overlap and benefit each other. It's a great thing that we obsess over when we're building out custom game plans for each coach. Okay, without further ado, going on to number 18 here, which is to message new followers. Many coaches don't message new followers. It's absolutely bonkers. It's an amazing opportunity to open up a conversation, and it can be so unbelievably simple, and it can be, you know, straight up copy and paste. Customize it to their first name always, but it can be really, really simple. Something like, hey, first name, thank you so much for following me, really, really appreciate it. If you've ever got any questions around said topic, you know exactly where I am. Following up with a second message and not having it as a long paragraph, but as 2 separate messages, and having the second message as something along the lines of, oh, actually, while I'm here, I just put this together. If you want access to it, then here you are. Or if you have a YouTube channel, oh, actually, while I'm here, I just dropped a new YouTube video. What is the title? It's probably a good one because most people obsess over the titles. I'll drop the link below in case you want to click through and watch it, right? That type of thing can immediately take somebody from a passive like, this person's interesting, I'll follow them, to, this person's interested, I'll follow them. Okay, let's join their email list. Let's go through their lead magnet. Let's go to their YouTube channel and become a lot more immersed. And that'll move them through the know, like, and trust way quicker than just hoping that they absorb some more of your social media content in the next few days. 19 is a lot more bullish, and this is one that many of the most expensive mentorships out there actually base almost all of their lead generation on, which is crazy to me. This rarely comes onto people's game plans that we work with, but those that we do, we have very good reason for doing it, and we'll do it as like a once every 4 to 6 week strategy. This isn't like a daily strategy or their key way of generating coaching clients, but reaching out to people who've engaged with your social media posts. Now bear in mind, once again, this is people who don't just follow you, but they follow you, were shown your content because Instagram knew that they were somebody who was already engaged, and they have chosen to like or comment on that post as well. It's somebody that is a great prospect for you to open up the conversation with. And when people are scared of doing this action, what I typically say is, remember that many of these people actually want to take action with you, but maybe they don't know what your product is. They're not product aware, or they just don't know how to open up that conversation with you. Maybe they've seen all of your marketing material, even the product pages, maybe even been to the checkout, but they felt a bit weird reaching out to you to ask questions directly and didn't want to be seen in that way. You opening up the conversation with them can often be like, oh, that person's just messaged me. Like, they want to hear from you. And so it's a really, really great strategy. It opens up good quality conversations, can book calls, get sales very quickly, and definitely a much more direct strategy. I know most coaches are trying to move away from this type of thing, but sporadically, this can be something that is a great boost to leads and sales inside your coaching business. Going into number 20 here is to follow up with your unconverted leads, right? The forgotten people, the most insane thing in coaching and coaching businesses is that people will work their tail off to get leads, to get people into the DMs and have a conversation with them, to book into a call and take that call. And yet, the volume of follow-up inside the coaching space is so unbelievably low. Again, even with coaches that I speak to that are already doing six figures, when they come and work with us, so often I see that they do not have good follow-up strategies whatsoever. And you have put so much time, energy, effort, everything into getting them to the point where they could potentially become a coaching client. When they get to that 98% there, and you do not follow up with them, it is absolutely crazy. All the money is in the follow-up, and that goes for people who are fruitful in terms of conversations in the DMs, but don't get onto book calls. Don't go, oh, they ghosted me, so I need to move on to the next person. Go, that person was genuinely interested, and reach back out to them, reopen the conversation, even make it funny, use GIFs or GIFs or whatever they're called that highlight the fact that they ghosted you, and it'll get them to laugh and reopen the conversation in a good way. Same thing is true with people who you're on calls with that do not convert. Don't go, they were bad fits, they say they couldn't afford the product. Things change in the space of 5 days if they've been absorbing your content and have seen somebody like themselves go through and become an amazing case study of yours. That can be all they need to see for them to change their narrative about not being able to afford it, which was probably nothing more than, I'm not clear enough on the value of your product, so I'm gonna say the thing that is easy to get off the call. Final five, and this has been a really good nap so far, but the wee man will be just about ready to rock and roll. So let's dive in to the final five. Number 21 is inspiration funnels. Inspiration funnels, something that I've used for years and years and years. I've loved email marketing since before I even went into coaching 8.5 years ago. Email marketing was a major part of the first business that I created, ran, and then ultimately sold. And we focus a great deal of our energy on growing the email list, communicating with it frequently. In the coaching space, one thing that works incredibly well is something called an inspiration funnel. Inspiration funnels are where you don't just come out and say what the win is as such, and it's not just positioned like, you know, there's an incredible win of one of my clients. We utilize those. There's big reasons why you utilize those as well. By the way, the reason why you utilize those ones is because it doesn't even matter if they open up the email. If the title's well worded enough, people know what you're capable of and what you are doing for your coaching clients. However, inspiration funnels are positioned a little bit differently, where it's more engaging, more likely to get click through, which is more along the lines of the inspiration of the story. So it's like about understanding how that person got there, how they achieved their great success, and the methods that they use to make that happen. And so what you're usually doing here is getting a lot of people to open up the emails. Inside the emails is usually a very, very short email, and this is really key. Very, very short email with a link that goes to the video where they can watch it. Like the free training funnel that we were talking about, you'll have a button below that video where they can take further action, such as booking in a call directly with yourself. Now, as a tangent here, but a great email marketing thing for you always to remember here is, if the focus of the email is to get link clicks, to get people to go somewhere else and do something in abundance, you want to minimize the amount of words that are inside said email. If you are focused upon impacting through the email itself, then of course long form works well. But if the key focus is to get people to watch the video, for instance, then the longer the email, the less amount of clicks you'll typically get, unless you are absolutely scorching hot with the words that you use inside that email to maintain the focus of the reader. But if you go for short and direct, then you get a ton of people clicking through, and then the impact of said video can book in a lot of calls on the other side. This is also a way for you to more frequently share content that is all based around the wins of your clients, which, like we said in the very first point inside this video, is one of the most impactful things that will turn somebody from a complete stranger into somebody raring to go becoming a coaching client of yours. Number 22 is story-based emails. Now, story-based emails, this is one that I don't know if it was the first place that I heard it, but it was in Russell Brunson's books back in the day, founder of ClickFunnels. It might have been in Traffic Secrets or something like that back in the day, but he was always talking about how emails, there's the value-based emails, there's direct emails, but there's also the story-based emails, which almost feel like, why is this person talking about this thing? And it's like telling stories about your life. And you might be saying the same thing that most people would be saying when they read that book initially, which is, what relevance does that have to my coaching product? But what we tend to find is that it gets amazing open rates. people read the entire email and people take action at the end of said email as well. And the genius of it is twofold. Number one, it's the connection that is created through the everyday life stories that you have that you can share. And then it's second of all is the fact that when you can loop that story into a call to action or into your product or a big takeaway or overcoming the objection of one of your most common objections that you typically hear, when you can overcome those things through the way you transition the story, then you've really got something great here. And the most responses that I get, as in people hitting reply and saying that was an amazing email, mate, or just booked in for a call on Tuesday, when I'm getting replies in abundance, it's typically from the story-based emails that I put out. These are absolutely incredible for the very reason that you think they would be the least successful emails that you put out. They are actually very commonly the most successful emails that you'll put out for your coaching business. Number 23 is to take the conversation elsewhere. Let's say that you book in a call, you might have spoken to them in the DMs, they might have come through a lead magnet, booked a call, whatever it may be. But once they book that call and you've had that conversation and they're yet to close into a client, whether it is the fact that they have said they need to think about it, they are in but they need to get finances in order, or maybe they even said, no, not right now, okay? In all cases, this is a really cool thing that you can do, which is that you can take the conversation elsewhere to somewhere like WhatsApp or SMS. WhatsApp is a great place for this, by the way, which is that you reach out to them, and if they said that, you know, they'd be ready to go tomorrow, you can reach out to them, but instead of sending them an email, which gets bombarded with loads of emails that they're getting, or second of all, it goes into their spam folders or promotions folder, you can take it to a place where you're much more likely to be seen, get a response, and also stay in their mind for a longer period of time. Which takes me to, if somebody has said to you on the call, I'm not ready to rock and roll right now, but I'll think about it and I'll probably be back in touch in the future. Sending them a quick WhatsApp message that says something along the lines of, hey, it was really good to connect today. In the future, you feel that it's right for us to work together and you want to insert result, then please just message me back here. You've got my direct line now, okay? This is a really cool thing. We tend to find that response rates on WhatsApp will be just about higher than anything else, given the fact that number one, people will see it. Number two, their frame of mind is usually like friends and family when they're inside WhatsApp. And number three is really cool here, which is if it's nothing more than the touch point that you're trying to make there. So they've already said they're not ready to rock and roll right now. It's just a touch point. The really interesting thing is not many people actually have like 12 conversations going on in WhatsApp. Most people have like, you know, their partner, a family group chat and a friend group chat or something like that, okay? They've got very few chats, but they go into WhatsApp multiple times a day. So what happens if you do that touch point is you're above the fold for a very long period of time. They might watch a video of yours 4 weeks from now, or see your Instagram story 6 weeks from now. And when they go into their group chat with their friends, who is there right in front of them? You. And it is very easy for them to reopen up the conversation with you. This is a great system. I would urge you to test it out. And number 24 here is something that I tell people all the time not to do. I'm gonna tell you to do it right here, but there are conditions. And that is to send people directly to a book call. More specifically, I typically say don't send strangers to a book call because it's a very high cost for a book call. Most people don't show up, and the people who show up don't have enough context to be able to make a purchase. One thing that is a really, really effective strategy is pinpoint remarketing and sending those people directly to a book call. So for instance, you might have ran a masterclass and you had 320 people sign up to said masterclass in the last 7 days. The masterclass is now run, and you have now had the people who showed up, the people who took action on the other side and booked calls, and of course, the people who are getting the follow-up emails. All of that's taken care of. Well, what you can do is you can create an audience of anybody that submitted that form in the last 14 days, which is going to be the 320 people, and you can put an advert in front of those people, inviting them to book a call, sending them directly to a place where they can make that happen. Now, this means that people are coming through with more context. Hopefully they've been on the masterclass itself, but if they have, man, if they book a call, they're gonna be showing up, they're coming with full context, they know your voice, they're excited to be there, and the likelihood of them becoming a coaching client on the other side is almost higher than anything else. And so it completely shifts in terms of volume of book calls, cost per book call, show rate and close rate. All of those things change when we take this strategy that doesn't work for strangers and we turn it into a strategy that we specifically use for small audiences of great people who know who you are and are 95% of the way there already. And number 25, to finish us off here, only use a handful of strategies. Now, I gave you 25 here today, or 24 plus this one, and I gave you, or I haven't given you, but we have inside our programs, over 190 strategies now fully templated, ready to rock and roll. However, even for you, not with 190, with 24 strategies here, if you will, and 25 if you include this, 25 strategies, you should not be doing everything on this list. You should have a cherry-picked handful or small handful of strategies that are perfect for you, your market, your product, and your price point that you can see yourself repeating and doing for a long period of time. If you want consistency and predictability in the leads and sales that are coming into your coaching business so that you don't have yo-yo months and you also have clear growth every single month or every single quarter, you could say, inside your coaching business, then you need repeatable systems. You need repeatable systems that, again, are right for you, your product, your market, your price point, coaching style. Everything needs to be taken into account to find the perfect ones. We'll typically choose anywhere between 4 to 7 strategies for each individual coach that we work with, not 190. 4 to 7, the perfect 4 to 7. If you're not sure what those 4 to 7 should be, what the perfect strategies are specifically for you and your market, what's working for the type of people that you're looking to attract right now, and in terms of the type of coaching product that you're looking to sell at the price point that you want to sell, then I will drop a link down below to a free ad strategy session. It's not limited to ads. We can talk about the best social media strategies and email strategies. We typically do that anyway, but we'll get you absolutely pinpoint on the perfect strategies that are working for coaches in your space, selling the type of product that you want to sell right now. Take away all the guesswork and have you crystal clear on it. If you want to know more about our programs, you can ask on the call. Otherwise, we're not going to push you. You can't even sign up on the call, so it's just going to be the most valuable thing that you do in the next 7 days in your coaching business. So thanks so much. I hope this has been valuable to you. If you like this kind of like long form, high value type of video, please like, and more importantly, comment below. Let me know key takeaways. If you want more things like this, and even more so, be bullish and just say exactly what type of long form videos you want me to go deep onto, ad strategies, email strategies, and things of that nature, and I'll create that in upcoming videos. Other than that, everybody have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.